Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So my name is Beth. I go by the username Be More Creative both here on YouTube and on Instagram. So I am here with my first video of 2023. So December I was doing my Flossmas series. I do have to apologise that I didn't manage to complete that. I ended up falling ill with a nasty ear infection. I then was flying home to my parents for Christmas, so I was back at home and I just needed to take the time. Last year was such a rough year for me. I found out some medical things that really did kind of knock me off my balance. It really took my confidence away, and this year I am doing a lot better. I'm now getting the treatment in place that I need, which is keeping everything okay. My eyes, which is the medical issue I have, are adjusting a lot better now, and I am feeling really, really good. I'm glad that I took the time that I needed just to get myself back on my feet, decide what I was going to do, set my goals, and really worked hard to get there. So I have taken a little bit of time off, but I'm hoping that that time off is now going to pay for itself, which it already has. I have stitched more in the past 2 weeks than I have stitched in probably the past 3-4 months. And I'm really, really happy about it. So this year I am really going to be focusing on my Stitch from Stash. I am part of a Facebook group, which is the Stitch from Stash challenge group, where you add up your stitch count. There is a calculation that you can find in the group, and depending on the total that you get from that calculation, it will give you a bracket which you can put to a value to that. So it goes from £2 all the way up to £25. If it's a value bigger than that, then the admins on the group will tell you how much that piece is worth, and there is one as well for full coverage. So my challenge to myself this year is I have so many lovely projects. I have so many amazing patterns. I really have for the past 2 years been spend, and this year I really need to cut that back. I need to use what I have because there are so many gorgeous things that I want to stitch, but I just don't get the chance because I end up going to the next shiny thing and then forgetting all about the original. So I'm going to be doing 2 challenges this year, and I'm going to hold myself accountable on YouTube. But if I decide halfway through the year I've had enough, then I've had enough and I'm going to change it. But the 2 challenges are the Stitch from Stash series. So I can start whichever projects I want. I can go out and buy something if I want to, but I am not giving myself a stitching budget. I can only use what I get from my stitching, really. So I'm going to try and keep to that. Obviously, if I get a birthday voucher or if I get money for my birthday, that I am not counting. Also, if I am midway through a project and I need to get something, I can, but it will come out of the budget that I have allocated myself. So hopefully that way I can do some stitching from stash. I did place a couple of orders at the end of December that haven't come in. I placed an order during the Chomatic Alchemy sale. So I have not included that in this month's budget because I've already paid for it. So that will be hopefully coming in the next couple of weeks. But saying that, I did manage to get 4 finishes done. So I'm really excited about that. So I'm going to go through these and then I'll speak about the next challenge. So the first finish I managed to do, which I finished on the 12th of January this year, this was a Saf. I started this on the 12th and I finished it on the 12th. And this is Happy Valentine's Day. This is a freebie from Cherry Hill Stitchery. So if you sign up to her new Facebook group, this was her free Valentine's Day sale. And I have stitched, all of my finishes are on the same fabric. This is a 16 count Chromatic Alchemy in the shade Rubsecent. It's this gorgeous pink model, pink and like a pale pink white colour. It's got a lot of mottling in it. I absolutely love the fabric. So I did change the colours. I did stitch from stash. Some of them are called for, I believe. Classic Colourworks Ribbon Red and Classic Colourworks Grasshopper, which is the red and green, and this is called for. I changed in and added Snowball. I believe they called for a DMC. I just put Snowball in there. They called for DMC 310. I used Dye Works Mascara. So I do have plenty of 310, but I'm always worried with the fancy floss. If I only have one of them, I tend to not use them because I'm worried that I will use it up. So this year I'm really trying to just pick whatever I fancy stitching with and using that. So that is the first finish, and this gave me a value of £8. So the next finish I have is also a free chart, and I will list the different Facebook groups and places that I found these down below. So this is Always, and this is the Always freebie from the Hello from Liz Matthews newsletters. Now she does have on her website, you can download all of the past ones. I just stitched this in Ribbon Red, and this finish gives me a total of £10. Now I'm not following exactly the group, so you're meant to be able to allocate yourself 10% extra if you stitched on a hand-dyed fabric or if you're using fancy floss. I'm not doing that. I am just doing the value of the stitching because I always stitch on hand-dyed fabrics. For me, that's not a big difference. So I'm just going to do it, keep it nice and simple, and do it on the basics. So the next finish that I had is also on the same fabric. As I said, all of these are. This is Hugs and Kisses by Primrose Cottage Stitches, and this one I did change up the colours. Now this is a paid for chart, but I had this in my stash. I got this last year at the same time as I ordered Gingerbread Kisses or Christmas Wishes. I'm not sure what it is. It says Gingerbread Kisses and Christmas Wishes on it. This one says Hugs, Kisses and Valentine's Wishes. I did change this to use the same thread. So all of my Valentine's Day finishes this year are using the same colour palette. So I'm using Classic Colourworks Ribbon Red. I used Classic Colourworks Snowball, the Dye Works Mascara, and then I did have to sub in a pink for this because I did needed to add another colour because I just didn't want the green in here. So I ended up using Dye Works, is it Begonia? I'm not sure how to say that. But it is just this gorgeous pink. I thought it looked really well with the red, so I've subbed that in. So those colours are my Valentine's colours this year. So I didn't have too many Valentine's Day finishes. I have done a couple of the hands-on design ones last year. I really don't like how I finished those. I'm half tempted to restitch those ones. I'm just not quite sure yet. So the last finish that I have to show you. Now this one ended up really small. I didn't think it was going to be this small on this fabric, but it's okay. I will add fabric to it to finish. And this is, sorry, the Hugs and Kisses one got me a value of £5. So this is Love You by Erin Elizabeth Designs. This is a freebie on her Facebook group, so I will show you that down below. And this one I just stitched in the same colours. I did convert the colours. So she stitched with Aqua, but that wasn't going to match the rest of my Valentine's Day pieces. Now I probably am going to restitch this. This one I stitched yesterday. So the Happy Valentine's Day, the Cherry Hill designs, Always from Hello from Liz Matthews, and this one were all SAFs. So this one I started stitching yesterday evening. I finished it within about 2 hours. It was just a really quick stitch. So I absolutely love that one, and that one got me a value of £2. So I just want to show you this fabric. So this is the Chomatic Alchemy Rubsecent. This is a 9x12. It's a 16 count, and I've got enough space, I think, to add one more finish. This piece of fabric costs £4.50, and that will give me 4 finishes on there. So these are obviously all smalls, but still £4.50, and I can get 4 finishes out of it. So I'm super excited with that. I'm absolutely loving it, and that was just out of my stash. So those are my finishes so far. So I haven't purchased anything this month, and so far I'm at a value of £25. So just with those finishes alone, I'm at £25 this month. So I can see that this is going to hopefully be quite good, because if I keep adding up when we get to March and it is time for the market, I can hopefully purchase a couple of new patterns. But I'm really hoping that I hold off. I'm going to see in case there's anything I really want, but I have so many gorgeous patterns that I want to stitch that I really want to focus on those. So I will see how that goes. I'm really enjoying that challenge so far. As I said, I've only finished smalls, but it still finishes. It's still more stitching than I've done in a very long time. So this next project is so I'm going into whips now. And the next one is a I Dare You SAL, which is run by Sarah Marnie from Marnie's Mixed Bag? I think it is Marnie's Mixed Bag. It's a UK based shop, so she sells patterns, threads and an assortment of different stitching supplies, and she is doing an I Dare You SAL, which is where you pick a piece that you are going to work on and you set yourself a challenge. So she has already called out all of the numbers for the month. So I did allocate my whips. So I went through my whip box to see what ones I have and what ones I want to try, and my goal for most of them is a finish, but I have said to myself I need to get a minimum of 6 days working on it a month. So 6 days minimum if I'm really not loving the project. Some of them are like my loose feather one that I showed in my whip parade. That one is to finish the block I'm on and finish one more block. It's an easy enough task. This one is my one for January, and I have done so much on this, it's unbelievable. So this is the Heartstring Samplery My Shadow. This is stitched also on Chomatic Alchemy, because they are one of my favourite hand dyers in the UK. I love Chromatic Alchemy and Jodrey designs. You'll see that an awful lot this year, because that is most of the fabric I have. This is a 20 count Cassia Rosé. Sorry. Absolutely love it. And last time you saw it, I was at the bottom of needles. So it doesn't look like I've done much, but I have stitched over 2,000 stitches in this week alone. So I am now just filling this in black. So I am using a Sulky black, so I'm using one strand of the Sulky black on this 20 count. I used one strand of a pale pink DMC, and I really wish I wrote down what it was. I really don't know. So I'm using one strand of the black, and I am just chipping away at this. I have, as I said, I've done all of this, and I did the legs because they were sticking out. So I'm now just working my way in rows to get this last part finished. So this is an awful lot of stitching. I don't know what the stitch from stash value is going to be. This is one of those ones where it is bigger than when I do the calculation, it works out bigger than the brackets were given, so I have to contact them. Also, it's technically a full coverage, I guess, so I will find out. But that is my goal for this month, is to finish that piece, which I know is a lofty goal, but it is simply stitching one colour. So I've been working on that every single day this week. I will do 5-10 minutes in the morning, so I won't get too much done, and then I put in a good half an hour in when I finish work of an evening. And when I would be just laying in bed watching YouTube, I've actually been sat up on my stitching chair doing half an hour of stitching. It's so relaxing. Watching what I've currently been watching is the Vampire Diaries, so watching an episode of the Vampire Diaries and just stitching until that's finished. And then for the past couple of days where I've been off, I've been putting at least an hour of stitching into this each day. So that one, I am just so wanting to get that finished now, and I'm loving the fact that this challenge is making me pick one piece that is going to be a focus each month. The other piece, I worked on this a little bit. This was the only piece I touched over Christmas. But I am struggling with this one, not because of the pattern is gorgeous, the design is absolutely gorgeous, but the reason I am struggling on this is because it is a 28 count, it is 28 count Lugana. This is, let me put it right, the Dark Queen of the Earth. So I'm still only on part 2, I think part 5 is now out, but I am just stitching on this, stitching away as I get to it. I absolutely love the colour of the fabric. I'm so glad I went with the Gilded Oak, and this is an Under the Seas fabric. I got the fabric and the bead pack from her for both of the Dark Queens. But this one, I am just chipping away with it. Now, I am hoping to get this one finished this year, but as I said, this one is the only piece I have that I'm struggling with because I think it's a 28 count. Normally it wouldn't be an issue, but because of my eyesight and my eye condition, it's making a little bit more difficult to do. So I'm just chipping away at it. If I'm having a good day, I put a little bit of stitching into it, but I'm not pushing myself too hard. This design is just too gorgeous and I don't want to mess it up. So I'm keeping this in my Bags Plus bag where I've got all of my threads bobbinated. This is the only project that I am bobbinating my threads for, but because it's going to be a year-long sale, I did decide to just go ahead and do that. So that is all of my stitching pieces. I did receive, now this was a pre-order, so I ordered this before, but I did want to let you know I will be taking part in the British Isles Adventure Stitch Along. Yes, I am doing another stitch along, even though I'm not up to date with my Dark Queen. But I'm stitching this on the 16 count. I got the kit with the gorgeous needle minder, and this one I believe it starts on, I think it's the 26th of January, so hopefully if I'm correct, it will be starting next week. So I'm super excited to be starting that one. I did buy the whole kit. I just want to say I love their new packaging. I love the fact that it's a cardboard packet instead of the bag, so I don't have to worry about that. And they are going to put up this evening their virtual stitching event. Now, I was considering, does that come out of my Stitch from Stash? But because it is an event, I did check with the people, it doesn't. It's the same as if you go on a stitching retreat, that is not part of your thing. But if you do buy anything extra, so they give you, when you do their virtual stitching events, they will give you a discount code, and if I was to buy anything, then that comes out of my value. So hopefully tonight I will get a ticket. I believe they come out on sale. I'm filming this on the Friday. I think it's Friday this 20th today, yeah. So Friday the 20th. So I am hoping to get a stitching, virtual stitching one. They have got a lot more slots open now, so hopefully I'll be able to get away with that. But yes, so I am super excited to be starting this one. So this one will start next week, and hopefully I will be able to get a space on the virtual stitching. And I'm also really glad that that doesn't come out of my bracket, because otherwise I would be like negative already. But no, I will be hopefully grabbing a spot on one of the Wednesday or the Thursday slots, so I'll be able to join in on that. So I think that is everything I have to say. I just want to say a huge thank you. Over Flossmas, I had so many comments about my decorations behind me. So just quickly, these are 2 IKEA pegboards. I have just zip tied them to the top of the bunk bed. At my school, all of the bedrooms are the same. One person is in each room, but because there is summer schools and things over the summer, the landlord put bunk beds into all of the beds. Also, it's quite good storage, I have to say. Like the top of my bed, you can see, is quite messy with storage. But yes, so I've got 2 of the IKEA pegboards. I just didn't use the fittings for the wall. I just zip tied them onto the bed, but I have ordered more of the shelves because I want to get rid of my pen pots up there and the clear pots that I'm not using. I just didn't find, I thought I was going to use it for storage. I'm actually using it for decoration. So I've put my My current finishes that I have that are more Valentine's more Valentine's Day like, and I have got my beaded Queen Elizabeth still up there. That is one that I did for the Platinum Jubilee. But yeah, and there's a Cherry Hill Stitchery stack one there. So I hopefully will be doing a lot more stitching. I will be finishing my Valentine's Day ones into pillows, but I want to finish stitching what I want to do for Valentine's Day, and hopefully in February I will be able to order my new sewing machine. I got some gift cards for Christmas. I'm just trying to work out which. I'm thinking I'm going for a Singer heavy duty sewing machine so I can really start on my quilting and things like that. So I am going to jump off and leave you here. Thank you so much for watching. Please let me know on your idea of whether you what days do you watch Flosstube the most often. I'm thinking of changing my schedule so I upload on a Friday evening instead of a Sunday. I think this video will probably come out on Sunday this week, but I'm hoping I may be looking at changing it. But let me know, what days do you watch Flosstube the most often, because I'm looking at changing the schedule. So I will be back in 2 weeks. Thank you so much for watching, and I really enjoy all the stitching that I've done in the past weeks, so I really hope that you have too. Thank you so much for your support. It means the world to me. Thanks guys, happy stitching, bye!